Welcome back. You're watching RT International. Now, people in Spain are heading to the polls to cast their ballots in a general election. With the shock from Brexit still being felt, there are questions over how that will affect the vote. The media's attention has been focused on the leader of the leftist Podemos party, Pablo Iglesias. And his party is calling for structural reforms of the EU, but the ruling Conservatives have warned against voting for populists.
A sad day for Europe. We should change our path. Nobody would like to move away from an honest and united Europe. We should change Europe.
Populism may end up having very negative consequences for the people. Vote for PP.
¿Qué es entonces lo que debería hacer una fuerza política democrática que ganara unas elecciones en un país del sur de Europa? Yo no tengo dudas. Debería tomar el control de la política monetaria saliendo del euro.
Si el domingo no te levantas de la silla para ir a votar, Pablo Iglesias puede acabar sentado en la Moncloa.
And today's vote is the country's second in just 6 months. Spain has been in political stalemate since December when no party won enough votes to form a majority government. We asked people on the streets of Madrid whether they think the British referendum will have an effect on the election.
I think Brexit can contribute to the agenda of some Spanish parties. However, due to Brexit, they could lose a number of voters who wouldn't like to see the same thing happen here in Spain.
With this economic crisis and stock markets now plummeting, of course Brexit is going to have an impact on the elections in Spain.
Brexit might boost the number of people voting for populist parties like Podemos, as well as the number of those wanting Spain to stay within the Union.
I don't think Spain will leave the EU, no. Anti-EU sentiment is a rare thing here in Spain.
There's no way Spain will leave the EU.
Spain has no money to go it alone. That's it.
I could hardly imagine that. Spain doesn't have the sort of economic independence the UK has, and I think this country needs the EU more than Britain.
And a Special Olympics summit has upheld a ban on the entire Russian track and field team participating at the Games in Rio.
The summit confirmed the respect and the approval and the support for the decision having been taken by IAAF last Friday.
The governing body, the IAAF, had banned the team over a doping scandal involving several athletes. According to Russia's sports minister, dozens of Olympic hopefuls will appeal to the Court of Arbitration for Sports to prove they are clean and should participate in the Games.
Clean athletes must take part in the Games. They haven't been involved in any doping schemes or scandals. It's a new generation of athletes. They are young, they're ready to prove themselves. Among those who already have a name is Yelena Isinbayeva. I think it's wrong to suspend them all from the Rio Olympics. I can say that my team followed IAAF regulations. We should be allowed to go.
I think the IAAF decision is unfair, especially that the entire track and field team should bear their responsibility. This is all politics.
The training and preparation time for the sports people is really hard. I think it would be completely unfair to take one's dream and perhaps the only chance in their life away.
All the facts and figures are speaking for us, but the atmosphere and an unprecedented pressure from the media were against us.
Just 3 of the 3,000 samples taken from Russian athletes this year have tested positive, according to the country's sports minister, Vitaly Mutko. But the IAAF doesn't seem to want to budge. Marek Zdiev explains.
In conflict, collective punishment is a war crime. In civil law, it's illegal. In the Olympics, well, it's fine.
The substantial allegations put very serious doubts on the presumption of innocence for athletes.
In short, since some Russian athletes failed doping tests and got help doing so, it's presumed everyone is doping and everyone is helping them do it. And they mean everyone.
We cannot concentrate on the sanctions of athletes only. All make an extra effort to sanction coaches, be it officials, be it doctors, whoever.
Let's be clear, there's no defense for cheating. Imagine training, pushing your body to its very limits and beyond, day in, day out, for years. But your gold medal is given to a doper, or even worse, being banned from competing just because someone under the same flag as you took steroids. Russian athletes can still compete under certain conditions. Obviously, they'll have to pass new doping tests 3 times just to be safe, and they have to be submitted outside of Russia. And they can't have any close friends tainted by doping scandals. And they reportedly can't have trained in Russia. And even if they're cleared, they potentially won't be able to compete under the Russian flag. By the way, the clock's ticking. The Olympics start in 2 months.
Why should tested and innocent athletes never implicated in doping scandals be made to pay for the actions of dirty athletes? It's nonsense. At the same time, 2 Americans, Tyson Gay and Justin Gatlin, twice suspended for doping, are being allowed to compete. This is injustice.
Russia won't be boycotting the games. After all, it doesn't deny that some athletes systematically abuse the legal substances. But the IOC's guilty until proven innocent approach is questionable. So much so that Russia's response is, "We'll see you in court." Morad Gazdiev, RT.
And up next is Worlds Apart with Oksana Boyko. Do stay with us.